Hey guys, welcome back. It is December 31st, last day of the year 2025, and we're going to have some fun this afternoon. Welcome back, guys. It's my vlog. Mr. Red, how you doing today?
I'm doing chipper.
Fantastic. Welcome in, everybody. Red we met here along with me, and we're going to be talking to you guys last day of the year, Chicago Outfit Chronicles Part 3. We're going to be changing the subject every 10 minutes. You guys are going to get to pick the subject. You put it in the comments, and we will we'll switch to that subject. Everybody around here seems like they're a little ADHD, so it seems like a good format, and seems like everybody seems to like it. So when you hear this sound, that means it's time to change the subject. Let's go into the comments quickly and say hello. Tim Peroni, John Mancus, Christina Morris is in here. Rhonda's here. Rhonda Moretti, Leanne rolling along. Happy New Year, everybody. Good to see you guys in here. So Tim Peroni wants to know about the Friar Club scandal. Do you know about that, Red?
No, I really don't in depth know about it. It was in California. It was the Friars Club. There were a lot of outfit people and other people that were cheating people in cards, but I really don't know in depth about it. Johnny Roselli was involved in it heavily.
All right. Well, I guess we're not going to start with that subject then, if Fred doesn't know anything about it. And while we're waiting for somebody to put something in the subjects, what do you think about the Leering Center in Minnesota?
I
the
think
Leering Center, the Leering Center.
I think Nick Shirley has done an excellent job in exposing what they've been trying to expose over the last 10 years. They've been exposing this and investigating it over the last 8 years. They were started investigating, but I think he really put it out there for the public to see. And now it's an embarrassment, and they're going to have to, heads are going to have to fall after this. But as far as that particular facility and 99 students there that weren't there and being thrown out, the real kicker is it's private property, but it's a school. So when they called the police on Nick Shirley, the officer said, this is private property and they're asking you to leave. I can arrest you. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not really that much on, auditor news people, but if it's public and you can go in there to register a student, but they could say, oh, we don't like you because you got a camera. I mean, if there was a sign at the door that said no cameras allowed in here, I would understand it. But there wasn't. And the Somalian people, basically the women that were there that chased him away, I was thinking about that and saying, this would not fly with me. And then the other woman that was not Somalian, she said, oh, these are ICE agents. Everybody be careful. ICE, ICE, ICE. Well, they didn't have ICE then, but they got them now.
I saw that. You see that crazy lady? ICE, yeah. Don't come out. Don't come out. There's what the hell's wrong with these people? Honest to God, what the hell is wrong with these people? So do you remember the shootings of the Minnesota state representative and her husband earlier this year, middle of the year? Yeah, you think that had anything to do with maybe, her investigation into all of this stuff that was going on? It was like she was going to be the whistleblower on it. And
it could be the corruption.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Really, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Pretty wild.
Well, just thank goodness I don't live in Minnesota. Never wanted to live in Minnesota. It's too friggin' cold up there. Minnesota is not made for red.
It's too damn cold. It really is. And did you see their new state flag? That's crazy.
That I don't know how they did.
That's crazy.
I didn't know how they did it. But Waltz has got a lot to explain as the governor. I mean, wasn't he running as vice president with the one I pronounced Kamala? Yeah. The Jamaican? uh,
It's crazy.
He's just, and then his stolen valor was something else too that came up.
Yeah.
That he said he when he saw action, he carried this weapon. He never saw action. He was in the National Guard.
My God. Leanne rolling along. Leanne.
I served honorably in the National Guard. Okay.
Leanne says, I've been living in Minnesota 35 years after leaving Illinois, and I'm kind of pissed about that whole thing. I don't blame you. I really don't. It's crazy. Grizzly Tactical, they were packing in refugees as far back as 99. It's true. And I could be wrong about this, but I was pretty sure that it was under Obama that they brought in they filled like a whole district. They get like 100,000 people in one district, all from Somalia, and go, oh, we'll be able to elect a representative eventually.
But the people there wanted that. The people that lived there didn't want to live with all the Somalians, so they put them all in one neighborhood.
Right.
And it just, they didn't realize that they were killing themselves.
Right.
One of them in each one of their neighborhoods, they wouldn't have this problem today. But the Somalians have their own food. They have their own culture. They have their own neighborhood. What the heck do they want Americans for?
Exactly. Jim Magnici, it's no wonder that people who are represented by a tard can't spell learning. True. When I saw that, I thought, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. The Leering Center. All right, guys, put it in the comments. What are we talking about? Let's get on the Chicago outfit. Let's get down some mob stuff today. Enough of this current news nonsense. Unless you guys want to talk current news nonsense, But again, I think we're here to talk a little bit about the mob. So yeah, I got a question for Red. I'll open it up then. If nobody's going to put anything in the comments yet. Red told me something fascinating that I had no idea about. He said to me that judges can overturn verdicts even if it goes to a jury and a jury finds somebody guilty or finds somebody innocent. The judge can go, "No, just kidding. You're guilty."
No, he doesn't do it that way. He said, in this case, I'm going to set aside the verdict of the jury and invoke my own. That's how it's done.
And that can be done.
Oh, it's done all the time.
Oh,
the judges in the courtroom.
So we put up a video this last weekend about the M&M murders. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, but near the end of the video, it concludes with saying that the trial where Frank Collada testified against Tony Spilatro and said, "Hey, he was involved. He had me call Jimmy Miraglia and to lure Billy McCarthy," or was it the other way around? So anyway, he testified, and it said in the videos, but it got thrown out, or he got acquitted due to a corrupt judge, Maloney.
That was your newspaper article,
right?
And in that article itself, it said that he found Frank Collada's testimony less than credible.
Less than credible.
Yes. And he set the jury's decision aside. That was it.
Executive Outcome says it's called a no conditions verdict.
Yes, that's correct.
That's it. No conditions verdict.
Yes.
It's crazy. I think Maloney, that judge, Mahoney, it was Maloney.
Maloney was on the take. Maloney was definitely on the take.
He went down in Operation Greylord.
He certainly did. He certainly did. And one of the things that they thought he was guilty of in Greylord was the M&M trial, but they didn't want to retry it. Tony was dead.
Gotcha. And it's no point at that point. So, couple comments here. What was your thought, Scott H. Watson? What was your thought about the Robert Cooley interview with Gary Jenkins. Isn't he? He's put 2 parts up. Isn't there 3 or 4 parts to this thing?
The third part finally went up yesterday.
Oh, it did.
My second part, I looked at it, and I think I commented on this on my show the other day. I think Cooley is actually senile. Maybe he has Alzheimer's disease like his father had and died with, but he definitely doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. He doesn't sound like he knows what he's doing. He rattles on about things that Gary Jenkins had everything to do to keep him on track. What do I think about it? I think he's a liar. I think he always was. It's all about Bob Cooley and always has been. Now he talks about things that are not in his book. He talks about when he was a police officer, he met Marco D'Amico, and he got involved with the mob way before he became a attorney. And some of the other things he got involved in with this Count Dante and some of the other stuff, it was a bunch of baloney. But he really pegs himself as a real high roller and a real great man. He talks very little about cocaine addiction. He talks very little about any of his shortcomings. And probably the one thing that really stands out most when you watch him in a podcast is his glasses that are kind of turned like this.
Yeah.
And they that way. He doesn't try and correct them. He just leaves them like that. And that is kind of unusual. It looks like he fell down or something, or he sat on his glasses.
It does. They're yeah. Mario said couldn't understand or follow him at all.
I did not. I feel sorry for the guy now. I used to dislike him a lot. Now I just feel sorry for him. When I found out his story that Gary Jenkins tried to contact him in 2016 when he first started his podcast. And at that time, Cooley told him, I've got a movie deal going and I can't do a podcast with you because it would upset my movie deal. And then later on, COVID killed his movie deal. And now he contacted Gary Jenkins out of the clear blue and said, hey, I'd like to do a show. Right after he did, what was the one? Johnny Russo.
Yeah, Johnny, right.
Yeah. So it was like Gary took it and he filmed several hours of it, 3, maybe 4. Who knows what went on the cutting room floor? But it was rough for Gary. I mean, I'm glad he got it. He got some history. But
sure.
The guy never talks about the real truth. The real truth is he talks about the millions of dollars that he won gambling, but he never claimed it on his income tax. And at the time, he was going to be indicted, and he knew about it. He went into the U.S. Attorney's office, and he didn't like Eddie Jensen. He said Eddie Jensen turned over informants and told the public about him, told the mob about him, got him killed, stuff like that. Things that were ridiculous. They really weren't Eddie Jensen at all. But if you didn't know these people, you might believe this old man. I mean, right. It was kind of rough. But it was what I think of the whole interview. The whole thing was crazy, man. I mean, some of the lies in there, like he actually went into the U.S. Attorney's office because he knew that he was about to be indicted for income tax evasion. And he owed the mob hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he realized that he didn't have to pay him. If he was an informant and it came out, nobody's going to go looking for him to get him to pay money. So he walked out on a lot of bills and people he owed, which he should have never got involved with. And then, he talks about being in the 18th district. Well, my business was in the 18th district. I lived there. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't seem to know that much about it. And
quickly, just for Brady, Bob Cooley, can you just, for the people who don't know who Bob Cooley is?
Bob Cooley, in 1988, 1989, right about the same time I did, was an FBI informant that wore a wire on
Wasn't
several.
he a cop?
He started out as a police officer, as a cadet. His grandfather was a police officer, Chicago police officer, killed in the line of duty. His other grandfather was on the other side, was a Chicago police officer that was killed in the line of duty. And he said they were killed by Capone's men. They weren't Capone's men. One was hit in an armed robbery, and it wasn't Capone's men. But he trashes it up to make it look, very important, very big. Right. And if anybody knows anything about Chicago PD, back in the old days, if you were killed in the line of duty, your star went in Chicago Police Headquarters on the bulletin board, and your badge was retired. And his father had that going for him. His uncle was a cop. They were all cops. That's another thing that got me. He doesn't like being called a cop or a copper, police officer. And he said anything other than that's disrespect. And Gary Jenkins says, I'm a copper. And he says, that's what we all called each other. He said, well, you're in Kansas City. In Chicago, that didn't happen. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I mean, how many coppers? I knew coppers. I say, hey, copper. Nobody said anything like, hey, you're being disrespectful, Red.
Yeah.
He just is off in his own little world. I feel sad for him that his mind has gotten that bad. I really do.
That's crazy. Did the judge that Cooley bribed kill himself?
That was Judge Wilson. He bribed a lot of judges. He bribed maybe 30, 40 judges in different cases. But Frank Wilson, the one that did the famous Harry Edelman case, he was retired and he had cancer. And when he heard it on the news and somebody called him and said, you're going to have to surrender yourself, he took a pistol and went out in the backyard. And that was it.
So, Mr. Coleman, Mario said he'd rather be called a cop than a pig.
Yes.
Any day of the week. And cop stands for Constable of Police, Mr. Hoffman.
Constable on patrol. Constable on patrol is what it really stands for. Look it up.
Constable on patrol is cop. Okay. I buy it.
But
not that I'm going to look it up and fact check you, but
back in the day, when he was a police officer, they did call police officer pigs. That was his era. And I will tell you this, I agree with our viewer here. If I was a police officer, I would rather be called a cop than a pig. He's checking me, folks.
No.
No,
I'm not. No, I'm not. I've just went through. I'd rather eat a pig. No, how the hell does it go? Eat a pig because a pig is a cop, or better yet, a Terminator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, House of Pain, Jump Around, that song. I'd rather eat a pig. Pig is a cop, better yet. Anyway,
the police officers that I knew back in the day, when they said they got called a pig by somebody, they had a comeback. They said, your mama eats bacon.
Yeah.
That was a very common thing for a police officer to say.
Well, all right, guys, it's time. Let's do it. Put something in the comments. We'll answer. We'll get on whatever subject you guys want. Let's change subjects. Be sure to hit the like button. If you guys are just coming in, hit the like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. And we sit here and we talk every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Chicago Central Time about the Chicago mob and other things associated with Chicago. How about Two Gun Pete?
Two Gun Pete. That's
No.
a regular bell here.
Curveball. No. Yeah. Since we're talking about cops, Two Gun Pete was a cop, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. The only two gun I knew about was Doc, who was out in Willow Springs. Doc, Willow Springs was like, mob controlled. Ralph Capone was out there. But Doc was an old man that ran around town. He had a pistol on each hip. And he was the mayor, but he was also the chief of police too. And Doc was a very unusual man. They had his law and order. What he decided was the law. And what he decided to do, he did. It was wild. The Capone regime, they owned it then, way back then.
Two Gun Pete was Sylvester Washington, legendary controversial Chicago police officer from the 30s to the 50s, patrolling Chicago's South Side black neighborhoods known as Bronzeville or the Black Belt. He earned his name by carrying 2 pistols, a 38 caliber revolver, and later upgrading to 2 357 Magnums. This guy was serious, man. Carrying 2 cannons around with you. After nearly emptying one gun in an early shootout, they credit him with killing 9 to 12 suspects in the line of duty, making him one of the deadly officers in Chicago history, tied or surpassing Frank Pape.
Pape.
Yeah. So this guy was up there. I've never heard of this guy, Mario. Sylvester Washington.
Frank Pape was murdered.
Yeah.
He
made 20,000 arrests in his career.
That's a good cop.
10,000 arrests every 10. He was on 20 years. That's 1,000 arrests a year. That's 3 arrests a day.
That's a good cop.
That's pretty. I mean, they don't work every day of the week, so that's a pretty damn good average.
Yeah, sometimes you get 2-3 people at a shot when you make it right. But he worked. He earned every bit of his money.
Huh.
We need 20 more like him right now.
Yeah, he was a black officer. Says the department brass deployed tough black officers like him to combat rising violence. Wow.
There was an era in the late 60s where they put black officers in black neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they did it, black officers hated people in their own neighborhoods that were committing crime constantly. And they looked at it as, you are giving me a bad name as a black man, and I am going to abuse you. And they did. They beat him up. They did all kinds of stuff to him. Then Chicago, the mayor and everybody else got involved. I think Harold Washington was involved. But he said, we have to move all the black police officers into white neighborhoods. And all the white police officers will police the black neighborhoods. So to say that racism didn't exist in Chicago is a joke.
Plus, yeah. No.
Even Bob Cooley was talking about how they blockbusted. He used to live on the South Side. It was blockbusted.
Yeah.
And they kept moving as a kid.
That's wild.
It was wild. It was a wild time to live through. And it won't be in any history books. It won't be on the internet. So if it's here on YouTube and people get a chance to see it, good, because it's part of our history. It's not a matter of opinion or anything else. It happened. It just happened. It was.
What happened? It's what happened. Yep. That's how it was. I know. Well, you grew up in that same era.
Yes.
You were born in 49. 49. Yeah. That's just what it was like. My father was born in 41, and it was he told me what it's like as a kid.
But you guys lived on the South Side. I lived on the North Side. I didn't see what was referred to as a Negro or a colored person until I went in the Marine Corps at age 17. We just didn't see them. That was it. Maybe I saw them at the draft board when I went down there. It was my first time actually seeing what they called colored people, or what they called us. And I don't know. Then it became later on, way after I got out, it became black. Then it became Afro-American. Now they don't want you to call them Afro-Americans anymore. They'd rather be called black. So I can't keep up with the political correctness of what it should be and what it shouldn't be. I just try to treat everybody the same way they treat me. And it doesn't matter what their skin color is, doesn't matter what their ethnicity is at all. There are certain people and certain ethnic groups that I don't get along with. But the truth of the matter is, if you treat everybody like you want to be treated and they don't treat you back the same way, it's not a matter of them being part of a group of people. It's them personally being a scumbag.
Yeah. Mario, where did you live, Adam? I lived in Calumet City. That's where I grew up. I was born in Blue Island, but I ran all through Chicago Heights, Dalton, Riverdale,
South Side.
Thorpe, Cicero, Alsip, Marionette Park. All that area was where I mainly stood. Although I did go up. I mean, I did gigs up on the north side, so I did go into the city quite a bit for work. But yeah, I mainly was on the south side. So,
did you ever get over by 55th on the Lakeshore Drive and 55th Street?
Yeah. Yep. I used to take that up to go to McCormick Place.
Well, that was
through the east side, and yeah. My father grew up on the south side near it was Blackstone Avenue, 109th, something like that. So 110th, I think. Anyway, yeah, that was where.
Go ahead.
Yeah, anyways, that's where I was from. So, and Mario says, yeah, he's bald. So he takes being called an afro an insult because he can't get an afro going.
Mario combs his hair with a razor.
Yeah, Ryan Brown. Hello, everyone. Surgery on Friday. Worst case, I might have to have my leg or foot taken. Please pray. Man, Ryan, you're in our thoughts and prayers, buddy.
Yes, you are.
I hope everything goes smoothly, and I hope that the worst case doesn't come about. So stay strong and hang in there, buddy. We're all you're in everybody's thoughts on the channel and prayers. I think I can speak for the whole channel when I say that.
You're speaking to me, and I like it. That's good. And
there you go.
What I would want to say.
Yep. So, horse racing tip. I had cops walking the beat in my city neighborhood growing up in the 70s. Did anyone else have cops walk the beat in their neighborhood? That's a good question. I didn't have in Calumet City. They weren't walking the beat, but I did date a girl whose father, actually I made friends with her father, who's a magician and is a magician. And he used to walk the beat in Whiting, Indiana, the main strip, cop on foot, but that was, when I was a kid, he was working on the department. So he was doing that back then, but I didn't see him that much in Calumet City unless there was a special event or something. Did you see police on foot?
We had what they call foot beats, and there was one on Rush Street, several on Rush Street. They had several police officers walking on Rush Street. And in Old Town, we had a foot patrol that used to go from North Avenue all the way to Division. All he did was walk back and forth down the street, which is a lot of baloney because he used to stop and get drinks at a place he wanted. If he wanted food, he got food. Every cop that worked that beat was like, sometimes they put 2 or 3 guys on. But throughout the city on the north side, they had trikes, the 3-wheelers.
Yeah.
And they went up and down in the neighborhoods because they were going like 25 miles an hour or 15 miles an hour. But they ran up and down the side streets in the neighborhood, and they promoted a lot of goodwill. I know as a kid, when I was like maybe 5 years old, there was a police officer in my neighborhood that said, "Come on, I'm going to give you a ride." And I got up in that saddle, and he rode me around down, up one street, down the other one. And then there was kids waiting in line for him. He said, "Okay, kids, make up a line." And you know something? We weren't afraid of police officers, and we didn't call them names. The cops were our friends. That was it. It wasn't until the 60s came along where the whole city went to hell.
Those are the riots. That's when Daley said, "Shoot to kill anybody, and shoot to yeah." It's crazy. I like the horse patrol downtown Chicago. You always
patrol. We had mounted patrol. That wasn't just downtown. That was wherever they called for them. That could be in Grant Park. It could be in Lincoln Park. It could be in Marquette Park. If they called for the mounted patrol, they went there. And the mounted patrol, actually, they had trailers where they trailered their horses. But they had their, where they boarded them, kept the horses, was right over in Old Town on Orleans Avenue.
Right.
That's where horses were kept. So I used to see a lot of them when they come and go. Yeah. And they were nice guys. I didn't meet one guy in the mounted patrol that was a jerk. But some trained their horses to step on people. They were really supposed to train them to push people. But some actually, after they pushed them, if they knocked them down, they got stepped on. Do I blame them? No. Because the people were very bad to the horses. They were hitting them in the face and all kinds of stuff.
Kay Goody. Sorry, Kay Goody's new to the show. You don't have to be sorry. He wants to know, was Red in the mob? So quickly, welcome to the channel, number one. Glad to see you tuned in. And so Red over here in the 70s and into the 80s, he ran an adult bookstore in Chicago, and he was associated with the Chicago outfit in several different ways, the way he was networked in. But he was an FBI mole, and he wired up the place.
The Chicago outfit in 1968. Milwaukee Phil, Tony Spilaccio, Joey Lombardo, Irv Weiner, that whole crew. Nicoletti was part of that crew. And then as it went on to the 70s, in 1970, Phil died, Milwaukee Phil. And it just other people took their places all the way along. So I kept on going through that until 1988 is when September 15th, 1988, I popped out of it. So we're talking about maybe 14 years.
So Kay Goody, you can buy Red's book if you want to learn more about Red that way, or just go to Mob Vlog, go to the channel and search Red Wimet, or who is Red Wimet. Search that on YouTube. You'll see the video. We made a video specifically for this, so you can go and learn about Red and who he is and what he did and get the background story. But welcome into the channel. And anybody else that's here that's new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below, hit that bell for notifications when we go live. Wednesdays we usually go live over here on Mob Vlog, and then on Red's channel for a while, and then on Mondays and sometimes Fridays Red goes live on his channel and does Q&A sessions. So anyway, welcome in. And I can't believe you forgot to say Schweiss.
Yeah, well, he wasn't one of the main guys, but Frankie Schweiss was part of that crew. He was Milwaukee Phil's bodyguard at the time. So he lived in North Riverside when Phil lived there. So
right.
Phil jail. Phil was actually the boss at one time, and then he went to jail. So
feedback, Phil, how's your book coming along, Adam? It's coming along. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. Red laughed. I said, I'm gonna have it done by Christmas. Red, I have it done by Christmas. I said, why are you laughing at me, Red?
I said maybe you'll have it done by this year.
It's coming along though. I'm open in the next few months that I'll be finished up with it. I don't want it to be a piece of shit. I want it to be good. I want it to be enjoyable. So just down to read it and have a lot of, I don't know. I want people to get up and when they're done reading it, feel like
it was worth reading.
It was worth it. Feel satisfied that you got something out of it. Maybe you learned something that you didn't know. You were entertained with some stories. We had a laugh. Maybe you had a little, some
there
sad
is some comedy in it. Adam's let me read what he's written so far, and believe me, there is some comedy in it. There's a lot of information that you never guess, never in a million years. And Adam's had quite a life, very different. He certainly has an extraordinary life.
It's been different. Ryan Brown, Adam, how are you doing personally? Is there anything I can pray for you? Ryan, so yeah, I'm doing all right personally. I'm trying to spend as much time as I can with my mom and with my wife, and I'm trying to be good to myself too. So I'm doing the best I can, right? I mean, anybody who's just put their first foot forward and just move forward in life. So I don't know. New Year's resolutions. It's a hell of a time to make resolutions. New Year's, everybody fails.
I'm praying for Adam's sobriety. I want him to stay sober for the rest of his life.
No kidding. How about propofol, I think is what you put up here. Yeah, Ryan. Propofol knocks you out so damn quick. Last time I went in for surgery, Ryan, they laid me down on the table and the anesthesiologist hooking things up goes, I'm going to give you this injection. You're going to feel really good. It's like a little cocktail. So you're going to feel a little loose. And then I'm going to give you the stuff to knock you out. And I said to him, well, before you give me that stuff that's going to knock me out, would you tell me? And he said, yeah. And he said, so I'm getting all ready. Doctor's in, surgeon, all the staff, everybody's there. And the anesthesiologist says to me, so are you ready? And I said, yeah. I said, so a guy goes to the doctor and the doctor looks him over. And the doctor said, well, he says, you got about 10. The guy said, 10 years, 10 months, 10 days. Doctor said, 9, 8, 7. Oh, the surgeon said I was a friggin' riot, man. He said, the whole place going on. I was cracking jokes, but that was my last joke right before they put me to sleep. You could use it if you want, Ryan.
7 sense of humor all the way, Ryan.
Robert, sobriety sucks. When you wake up, it's the best you're going to feel all day. Yeah, I feel bad for people that don't drink because when they wake up, it's the best they're going to feel all day long. Scott H., I never made a New Year's resolution. If I want to do something, I don't wait for a holiday. That's like me, Scott. Same thing, man. I my wife and I, it's like every day's Christmas. So what will you do for Christmas? Jesus, anytime we want something, we don't wait and go, oh, I'm going to get the new, whatever, or we just do it. So it's kind of like, I don't know. But I did something special for my wife this year, and I feel proud about that. I did something special for my mom for her birthday this year. I suck at gift giving, but every once in a while I come up with something really good. So
I think it was a good idea. I love it.
Yeah. Propofol is what ended Michael Jackson. Yeah, that and a couple other little things in that cocktail, I think that they were giving them. So Scott H., I'm going to ask the doctor to pump it in real slow next time. Can you give it to me slowly? Just really slowly so I could get the feel of this thing before. What?
Put it on an IV drip.
What?
Put it on an IV drip.
Yeah, not bad at all. God. All right. So we're in the last 20 minutes of the show. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's change the subject up. Joe Salozzi's here. Happy New Year's.
How you
Looking
doing?
like employed FBI agents. Nice to see you, Joe. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and I hope you and yours are doing well. It's good to see you, Joe. We should have Joe on the show again.
Yes, Joe. Are you in the Chicagoland area, or you're back in North Carolina?
We'll find out and see if he wants to come back on. I had a blast talking to Joe last time. All Chicago history. I mean, and to think that I watched his dad's commercials growing up like over and over. He always save more money. That's catchy. Oh, that's catchy, you know. And I wonder, Joe, I don't know if you ever did you ever ask, did anybody ever ask him where the hell did that come from? Was it his dad? Was it Edelson? Who was it?
No, it was his dad.
Dad came up with that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Where you always save more money. So Losey and Edelson Chevrolet, where you always, I don't know, it's something about that. It was catchy.
His dad was very good at marketing, exceptionally good at marketing.
It's weird how those old commercials get stuck in your head. You know, you wake up one day and then it's stuck in your head all day. You're just walking around. Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, call the chorus, man. You know, it can sing you all day long. Rattle, rattle, thunder, you know. Oh, my God. Jingle writer. That's a hell of a career, huh? What do you do? I write jingles. Some people are good at that, though. So, yeah. All right, Tim Peroni.
Who was very good at that was Barry Manilow. When I listened to it, I write the songs that the whole word sings. I listen to Pepsi-Cola, all the commercials that he did, Coca-Cola, everything he did, 7-Up. I mean, not only that, but he did other commercials for other things other than beverages.
Yeah.
And when I listened to all of them that I was used to hearing, I didn't know he wrote all the songs. But when he wrote the song, I write the songs, it told everyone because he said it in there. That was the first time I recognized Barry Manilow, period.
Right. Yeah, no, I knew his work before I knew who he was. He's out here in Vegas. He's at the Westgate. He just announced he's got lung cancer.
I was going to say he's still alive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Manilow's in his 80s.
89, 80, something like that.
Oh, I mistyped it, but it'll probably come up. He's he's 82. As of December 31st, he's 82. Yeah. Empire Carpet, Chevy 11. Yes. 588-2300. Why
2-300 Empire.
Yeah. Crazy. Now he's gone, but they still use his avatar. They made a little like caricature out of him. I'm pretty sure they'll be using AI commercials pretty soon of that guy, because now they can do that and bring him back, you know, and if they have his rights to do that, who knows?
It's a resurrection.
Manilow just passed Elvis Presley in the most consecutive sold-out shows, which is funny because it's at the same property, because it used to be the International, then it was the Hilton, then it was the Westgate, then the LVH, and then the Westgate again, or it went back and forth. Yeah, but
he had like 35 more years to do it. Elvis died in 77.
Yeah, he did. He had a whole lot longer.
That's 40 some years.
We were talking about your brother's movie, about Nick's movie last a couple weeks ago. The
TV. Joe, you want to come on Monday?
It's going to be done and coming out in February. We were wondering when it was going to come out, and it's like, we're excited to see it. Is it going to go straight to streaming, or where are we going to be able to check it out? Do you know yet, or love to know? So, did Barry have that same contract?
No.
No, but so Colonel Parker, Elvis's manager, was he was a shyster, that guy. And so say there were 1,000 seats in the theater. He'd go to the box office in the afternoon and say, how many tickets are sold for tonight? They'd say 950. Get 50 seats out of there. Sold out. So there was a little finagling going on there to get Elvis's every one of his shows sold out. So yeah, I guess they fudged the numbers even on the plaque that's over there at the Westgate, the Elvis bronze Elvis statue and plaque. But that's what I
was told by two of the Memphis Mafia. I was told that when he did that, he used to scalp the tickets. He would buy the 50 tickets or whatever, and then he would sell them after the show started. I got tickets. He'd scalp them.
All right, let's change subjects. It is time to talk about sports betting. Good topic. Do you think the outfit had its hands in fixing games in Chicago?
Yes.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. If there was money in it, the outfit had its hands in it. I don't care if it was basketball. I don't care if it was hockey. I don't care if it was football. I don't care what it was. And they don't have to go to the owners. They don't even have to go to the players. They can actually go to a coach and him pull people in and pull people out and whatever. So there's a lot of things that could be done. A lot of ways to fix games. A lot of ways.
Did you so just recently, a few months ago, there was involvement in illegal sports game fixing in New York that was going on, some of the pro teams?
Yes.
Did you hear about back in it was on one of there's these series of shows on Netflix called Untold, and it's some Untold, and it was about a basketball referee who was betting on games, but then also, because he was the ref of the games, was able to make calls that would suit his bets.
That was a fact that happened. That happened during the 80s, and that was a fact. It happened.
Who was the
he got arrested.
They did Johnny Football. He was another one. Johnny Football, who was going around, Johnny Mancini, and he was an unbelievable football player, and he just trashed his whole career. But he was doing, his main problem was drinking and drugs, I think.
Well, that's what everybody looks for, the weak spot.
Basketball games. Let me see if the name comes up here. Oh yeah, Tony Accardo's grandsons are in. They're NFL players.
Yes, they are.
He was from 94 to 07. He was a referee. Tim Donaghy. He was a referee at major NBA betting and game fixing scandals. Operation Flagrant Foul. 94 to 07, he admitted on betting on games, including ones he officiated during the 03 to 07 season. It was kind of recent that this went on. So anywhere there's money, there's corruption. Anywhere there's to make some money, there's corruption. There's room for it. So Johnny Manziel, thank you. Texas A&M Trail Duster. Johnny Manziel, I think that's how you say it. Yeah, that's it. That was a crazy story. So Colonel was corrupt for sure. Plus FBI got watches back from Elvis. Joe Esposito got watches for Elvis through his Chicago connection. And Tony Centraccio, Galaxy Carpets, which Frank Joe's brother worked their adult bookstores. Tony met Elvis when he played in Chicago. Huh. The Colonel was corrupt though with the Elvis. I guess I met Elvis when he was back there in Chicago. So yeah.
I met Elvis in 1965 or 1966. I might have been 1966. I was stationed in Millington, Tennessee, and I was in the Marine Corps then, and I was going to aviation school. And it was Christmas. It was like today, right today. It was like on a day like today, and I had nothing to do, but I grabbed a buddy who couldn't go home also because he didn't have enough time to go leave, and we only could get a short pass. You couldn't go out of bounds, so we stayed in. And I went walking, and we were saying where we're going to go. And I said, why don't we go to Whitehaven? Because everybody heard about Whitehaven. And as we were going into there was nothing there. I mean, bunch of farmland. But as we're in Whitehaven, we're walking along a blacktop road. Every so often, there's a street lamp. Not very often, but there was a street lamp every so often. And we saw some lights up in front of us. And we were walking, light snow coming down on the ground. And this man, kind of chubby, not really that chubby, but kind of chubby, comes running out on the street. There was nobody on the street. And he comes running up to us, and we were in uniform. This was during the Vietnam era where you had to be in uniform. And he said, you look like a couple good old boys. He said, you want to come to a party? And we kind of knew who it was. We didn't say anything, but we went to the party. But as we were getting closer to the mansion, Elvis's mansion, two huge bodyguards came out, and they looked like they were going to attack us. They really did. And Elvis said, no, these guys are with me. And he got between the both of us, and he put an arm on each shoulder, and we walked inside. There was a desk as you walk in on the left-hand side, and there was a secretary there. And she looked at our military IDs and got our names and everything. And we didn't see him at all after that. We were at this party, but he went down to the jungle room or something. He was gone. And it was very interesting, New Year's Eve. And the next day, we went back to the base. And the next day, the officer of the day called us in, who was a fill-in, because our normal officer today went someplace for Christmas or New Year's Day, I'm sure. But he called us into the office. I said, oh, we're in trouble for sure. I mean, we're really in trouble now. And I looked at my buddy, and he said, I don't want to go, but we had to. We got called into the office. So when we went into the day room or the office, he said, where were you guys last night? And I'm rolling my eyes like, this is it. You know, this is break time. You know, I'm getting in trouble for something. And I just was very honest with him, told him. I took charge of the whole thing, and I told him. And he said, well, you better get the uniform of the day. He said, get out of your utilities. He said, Elvis is sending a car to pick you up. And he did. He sent a Cadillac to come and pick us up. And we went back there. I spent maybe 4 or 5 hours at his home, but maybe only 10, 15 minutes talking to him. He had a lot of his private people around. He had his bodyguards there, the Memphis Mafia. But he also had Priscilla was there at that time.
All right, Red, we're going to talk about this more on your channel. It's time to wrap it for the last time of 2025, guys. It's been fun. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. We're going to be on Red's channel. You guys want to hear the rest of the New Year's Eve story with Elvis? We'll be there. So once again, thank you guys all for coming. And it's Johnny Manziel. That's how you pronounce it. So I said it wrong. Manziel or Manziel. Johnny Manziel. Yeah, Manziel. That's right.
And 225 and hello 226.
We'll see you guys next year, or we'll see you on Red's channel in a little bit. Have a great day, guys. God bless and take care. Adios.